as you study, I mean, that's part of what we do as homeschool moms. We study our kids and we learn how they tick. And so, finding them these places where they fit, it was a natural progression, basically, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, definitely. And it's also finding the right adult,
Mm,
because you can have the strengths and the interests, but then if you don't have that one wonderful adult who will take the person under their wing, then under his or her wings, yes, then it may not work. And we have had situations like that
mhm.
where it's just incredibly important to find that one person who understands these are all of the needs, and we don't sugarcoat it anymore, because we
Yeah.
want to know upfront, are you really willing to take on
Hmm.
this person and all of the needs before
Right.
we sign up for something?
That's a really good point. Yeah, I think my dad said at one point, he said, you document the worst
Mm,
because it's not that you want to remember it, but when you need to ask for help and you need to ask for services, that's what you need to talk about.
right.
And yeah, it's unfortunately that is the case, but you through time sometimes you can even forget that, and to just be able to have that
Right.
written down and say, oh yes, I remember now.
Yes, it's a good point, and it's also important for when we're not around, because they're going to
Yes.
need, we think about that now, my husband and I,
Mhm.
and they're going to need somebody who understands their needs. And if it's
Yeah.
all just in our
Mm.
minds, then
Mhm.
that's not going to be happening. And we may look for the best in our children, but we do have to be able to say what the worst can be if they're not given that structure and that gentle routine that we've
Mhm.
given them, that they've come to rely on.
Right.
And a quick story about that: we had a whiteboard up, a big whiteboard up in our main eating area all
Mm.
through homeschooling. And initially, it would just be pictures of the progression of the visual schedule for the
Mhm.
day. But then we could put words up once they could read, and
Mhm.
those became our guidelines. I went over them every morning for the kids. We
Mm.
had a vertical one for the day, and then I had a horizontal one at the bottom for the week.
Mm.
We would make sure that they knew exactly what was coming.
Mm.
Even if it was a change,
Right.
then we tried to help them see, of course, that this
Those
change was going to
transitions.
come.
Mhm.
Right. And that we're going to, and I put up at the board, be flexible and agreeable. That was, that was our
And that
motto.
was for you as well as them, right?
That's right. That's right. And then my son is subject to low mood. So
Mm.
he would get everything's unfair and nothing's ever fun. And so
Mm.
for our horizontal part, I put the various things that we were looking forward to throughout the
Mm.
week. So on Tuesday we're going to do this, and just to keep his mood up, that there
Mm.
are in fact some fun things coming. Well, one day I had not yet put the vertical day-to-day routine up.
Mm.
I don't know, I went to bed late or whatever, and usually
Right.
I could get up early enough to do this before they would come down the stairs and look at the board.
Yeah.
But this particular day, there was nothing up there.
Mm.
And my son Michael came down the steps and he said, "Mom, today doesn't exist."
Oh no.
I said, "No, it exists. I just don't have it up there yet."
But that's good vocabulary.